Okay, welcome everybody. So in this live stream right here, I do want to focus on a couple different topics, including Section 8 and Medicaid. So we've got some more major changes on the docket right now. I want to point these out for you here in this short video. A lot of things have been changing so far this year on many different topics out there. And again, you hear me talk about this all the different times out there. There's just a lot of major changes. Anyway, so let's first start out by talking about Section 8, okay? We'll talk about that first, and then I want to talk about something else that they're implementing within Medicaid, not to be mistaken with Medicare, but rather Medicaid, something that they're doing there, again, which will probably impact, a couple million people as well. All right, so anyway, let's first start out by talking about Section 8, okay? So this could be referred to as a variety of different names, most commonly known as Section 8, so we're just going to refer to it as that. Anyway, so right now here we are in kind of approaching the end of August, whatever, like the second, third, well, no, how am I trying to say that? Anyway, we're getting close to the end of August. Let's just say that much, right? So anyway, in about, 5.5 weeks or so, give or take a little bit, we'll be approaching the end of the fiscal year, 2025 fiscal year. And then as of October 1st, it'll be the new 2026 fiscal year for the federal government. Well, a lot of things start the new fiscal year, okay? Very important time. Now, here's what's interesting. Typically right around September time is when they come in as in lawmakers and they have this new plan, the new 2026 federal budget, whatever, right? It's this whole mess every single year. But anyway, right now they're floating all these different ideas as far as what they want to include in their new federal budget for the new fiscal year. Again, starts October 1st, okay? Anyway, one of which is to substantially reduce funding for Section 8. Now, I know for a fact there's a lot of you here in the community that are, number one, either getting assistance from a rental assistance or a Section 8 type program, or you're on the waiting list, right? I know that for a fact there's a lot of you here in the community that are on the waiting list and have been on the waiting list for years and years and years. I don't talk about Section 8 all that often. Maybe like once every couple months or so, there's something interesting that comes out about it and I talk about it. And on those videos, in the comment section, inevitably, or anytime that I talk about Section 8, I see comments down below saying like, I've been on the waiting list for 4 years. I've been on the waiting list for 7 years, or like these huge timelines that's like, wow, that's a very, very long time, right? Anyway, so I know that a lot of you here in the community get assistance from this, as well as are awaiting assistance from these rental assistance type programs. Anyway, for the new 2026 federal budget, and again, not the calendar year 2026, but rather October 1st, which is, Corey? Oh, all right, sorry. Hello?
Hey.
Is it good?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry. Sorry about that. I thought there was an issue. She usually comes in when there's a technical issue. So sorry about that. There was not. All right. Anyway, what was it saying? For the 2026 fiscal year that starts October 1st. Anyway, what they're talking about is substantially reducing Section 8 funding. Okay. So here's what it comes down to. They want to reduce the timeline, as in how long somebody can be getting Section 8 housing assistance or rental assistance, down to 2 years. 2 years. Right now, as we currently speak, there's no cap on how long somebody can get assistance from the Section 8, housing assistance program, or rental assistance program, right? As of right now. However, they want to shave that down to a 2-year time frame. So somebody could come in, get assistance for 2 years, if they even get in the first place. And then after 2 years, they're like, hey, you're out of here, right? They boot people out of there after 24 months. That could be very, very bad for a lot of people, right? 24 months and whoa, that's it. Now you're on your own again, right? It's a bad situation. Now, there are some different parameters around that. Let me point that out for you really quickly. This is interesting because they've also hammered down on this recently this year with some of these other major changes out there, especially around SNAP benefits or food stamps and the Medicaid program as well. What are they hammering down on? Able-bodied adults without dependents, ABAWD people, okay? They've really been having a heyday hammering these people, okay? Well, here they are in the Section 8 program again. And again, I'm not saying anything bad about this group of people. I'm just simply saying they're really going after these individuals, able-bodied adults without dependents. They're really going after them a lot this year. And again, we've seen this evidenced in the Medicaid program. And we've also seen this evidenced in the food stamp or SNAP program. And now they're doing it within the Section 8 program, according to these new parameters within the new rules that they're floating for the 2026 federal budget. But basically, able-bodied adults without dependents would basically have this 2-year time frame. That's it, 24 months for an able-bodied person. However, here's a little bit, I was going to say silver lining. I don't know if this is really a silver lining, but I guess one of the positives about this is I do know that there are a lot of you here in the community that are maybe seniors or maybe people with disabilities. These individuals, seniors or people with disabilities, would be exempt from this 24-month rule, which is honestly really, really nice. You wouldn't be booted out of your place after 24 months, but rather you would be allowed to stay as needed. Very, very nice, right? But rather they're going after able-bodied adults without dependents and putting the restrictions on them, if that makes sense, okay? So just like what we saw, like I said a minute ago, with SNAP benefits, food stamps, and Medicaid within the OBBB that was signed into law on July 4th, okay? So interesting. And again, this is what they have right now outlined within the 2026 federal budget. I'll keep you posted on that. If they actually do implement this, I'm sure they will. I'm just going to say that right now. Be prepared because they're going to add this in. Okay. Now, next, they're also going to be reducing HUD funding, I should say, by 40%, and then pushing that onto the states. So it'd be way less federal oversight of this program, and then basically just pushing all of that right onto the states and saying, here, we're going to give you some federal dollars, and the states, you take care of it. States, you figure this out. States, you take care of this. So it wouldn't really necessarily be federal oversight of these programs anymore, but rather the states overseeing them. And we know how that kind of goes. It can turn into a mess. It's not always the best thing. It could be good. I'm just simply saying it could turn into a mess. Some of these other programs that are out there as well that are federally funded and state administered, if that makes sense. Okay. All right. Anyway, let me keep you posted on that. We've got about 5.5-ish or 6 weeks or so to go until we get into the new fiscal year. I'll keep you posted on that as we get more information on this, but kind of interesting to see this how this whole thing's laying out. And I know there's about 2.8 million people and families that are currently reliant on the Section 8 program right now to help them with their housing needs. Okay, it's 2.8 million people that are getting assistance from this, but does that also include the millions and millions of people on the waiting list? I don't think it does, right? So point being is there's a lot more people out there that are still awaiting housing that just haven't been able to get it for years and years and years. All right, anyway, so that is number one. That's Section 8. Now let's quickly talk about Medicaid, another major change coming into Medicaid. Now, I'm not sure how many people here in this community this will actually affect, but I'm going to throw it out there. I was reading about it a little bit. I just want to point it out for you really quickly. They want to remove anybody who is a non-citizen from Medicaid, okay? And again, I'm not sure who this would impact here in this community. I'm just saying, just giving facts here, okay? Just giving information. Anyway, so they already reformed Medicaid in a pretty big way. Again, not to be mistaken with Medicare. Medicaid, they reformed earlier this year, just, I don't know, a month and a half ago. They reformed Medicaid, and now they want to remove all non-citizens from Medicaid. According to what I'm reading on this, well, kind of depends on the sources that you look at. It looks like it'd probably be a few million people, according to what I'm reading on this. Now, here's what they would do. They would scan through federal databases, and somebody that does not show up in a federal database and is on Medicaid, well, they're basically going to get kicked off. Does that make sense? So that's kind of what they're doing is they're using other databases within the federal government to scan and look for these individuals. In other words, to say like, hey, do we have record of this individual being a lawful legal citizen? And if not, well, then we're taking them off of Medicaid. Interesting, right? So this is like a real thing that's going on. So anyway, feel free to look this up and read about it. And again, this is still something that's out there, has not fully been implemented yet, but this is something, again, will be coming in my best estimate on this. I would say for sure this will actually be happening. So just keep an eye on this one as well. And again, I don't really know if it's going to impact that many of you here in this community. I'm just simply saying this is going to be something that they're focusing on, and what they want to do in their vision and in their remarks is to basically make Medicaid more efficient and to be better stewards of the taxpayer dollar, because at the end of the day, that's what funds these programs is taxpayer dollars, just like literally everything out there, right? It's all taxpayer funded. So anyway, that's just what they wanted to do with this whole program. So that's a little bit of a change, a new rule, a new parameter around Medicaid. And we've already seen some major changes around Medicaid as well earlier. Again, as I mentioned, within the OBBB that was signed into law on July 4th as well, we did see some changes there to Medicaid. So interesting times, right? And here we are, August, what is today? August 20th, Wednesday, August 20th. So, I mean, we still have a lot of the year to go. We have a lot of months to the year to go. And we've seen major changes so far this year, like a lot of changes so far. And I guarantee you this much, we're going to see a lot more to come as well. Okay. Anyway, it's going to be an interesting time here. Make sure to stay tuned. I will certainly keep you posted on all this. I'm going to have my wife come in and help me out right now. But yeah, super interesting to point this out. And again, I'll keep you posted on all this going on right now. I know it's a very confusing time. I know there's a lot of different things that are going on. I know that there's a lot of major changes out there. And I know there's a lot of confusion as well. I've seen the comments popping up down below. Don't get me wrong. I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. And I will do what I can to answer those questions for you, either in dedicated videos. I will come back in dedicated live streams, whatever you need for me. Drop some comments down below. Let me know. What questions do you have? I can certainly make dedicated videos for you. Just let me know what you have, and I can certainly focus on those for you, okay? Again, I see a lot of comments rolling in. In fact, just yesterday alone, I made a video where I was talking about that rebate check, right? Or some people are calling it stimulus, things like that. The reason for that is I've had a lot of people reaching out saying, hey, what's going on with this? And when are we getting it? Who's getting it? All these details like that. So I made that dedicated video, and it seems like a lot of people are enjoying that as well. All right.